Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, I'm up in Ljubljana, Slovenia. We're here for about a week, so I should get a good feel for the city. We're gonna check out the castle. We're also gonna head out to Lake Bled. So stay tuned while we explore Ljubljana. So we're gonna make our way up to Ljubljana Castle this morning, and we decided to have a quick breakfast. So we grabbed a little grab and go, almost like a burek, but only this one has chicken in it. We grabbed it at the Mercator, a little store. You'll find them all over the city. Sell everything fresh pastries, coffee, of course all kinds of snacks, fruit and stuff. Great little spot to stop in. Only with mine and Shelly, this is only €2.48. Fantastic deal. All right guys, so we're up at Ljubljana Castle here. Fantastic. So if you want to take the audio tour, it'll run you €20 a ticket. So we got two of those, so €40, but we paid with Visa, so you get 10% off. So €36. That includes the funicular to get up here and the return ticket back down to the city. Fantastic, all kinds of exhibits, everything from art, there's history, a chapel, a prison, a bunch of look-off points and towers. Well worth it. And then the historical part is amazing. It basically covers the entire history of Slovenia. So definitely a worthwhile place to visit. This is our first day here, and it was the first thing that we wanted to do, and we have been super impressed. You can see how they built the funicular station literally right into the rock face of the mountain, and here's some of the exterior castle walls here. So we're just up in the Ljubljana Castle here, and they have this art display. We're gonna walk down and look at it, but it almost looks like something out of the Jigsaw movies. It's, these dolls are kind of creepy. Huh, very interesting artwork. Yeah, it almost feels like I'm about to get shackled and somebody's gonna start with, "We're about to play a game." But very, very interesting. And this is a depiction of how I viewed Sunday school. So we're heading up another spiral staircase. Pretty epic in here, actually. We're going up to a viewing platform. Look at the detail even in the stairs. Very nice. All right, yeah, you definitely got to go check out that viewing point. Amazing views of the entire city plus the castle. Little cramped up top, but just wait your turn. Everybody's taking selfies, but amazing views. So if you look way up to the top where the flags are, that's the viewing point that we were at, and then we came down and then into the chapel, which is absolutely gorgeous. So behind me along the castle wall here is an old grapevine, and it was given to Ljubljana from Maribor. The vine itself is 400 years old, and I believe up in Maribor, which is only about an hour and a half from Ljubljana, is the oldest wine or grapevine in the entire world. So pretty fascinating actually, and if you're into wine, I imagine the Serbian wines are delectable. I'll be trying one later today. All right guys, so we just got out of the history part of the castle here. Absolutely fascinating. Starts from about 200,000 years ago, goes through Roman times, medieval times, right up until about the year 2000, like kind of when the Yugoslavia collapsed. So it's a fascinating exhibit in there. Lots of artifacts, lots of stories to check out. Part of the castle ticket, so it's included, but don't miss that. It's very interesting. All right, so we just finished a little lunch over at a kielbasa place, absolutely fantastic. We had a barley stew. I went with the kielbasa inside the pastry with some grainy mustard and a local IPA. Absolutely fantastic. So we're just heading over to Dragon Bridge. We're about 2 minutes. It's literally just the next bridge over, but we came across this one here, and as you can see, it is absolutely full of like the love locks that you will also see in Amsterdam. Probably all over the place nowadays. Everybody seems to do this. The Dragon Bridge is right up there. We're gonna head over there now, but it's absolutely stunning here. We are really enjoying our time. The sun is out. It poured a little bit yesterday, but the weather has turned around and it is gorgeous. So let's make our way over to the Dragon Bridge and go check her out. All right, so we're over at the Dragon Bridge, and it was built in 1901. It actually replaced a wooden bridge that was damaged, and this bridge had the third longest concrete span in Europe, and it was the first concrete bridge without a reinforced structure. Actually pretty cool. Very nice bridge, and there's dragons, of course, on all the light poles and on all four corners of the bridge. Definitely worth walking up to see it. And just down the side here is full of all kinds of bars, restaurants, you know, grab a drink. It's absolutely beautiful up here. Nice little walk up to see it along the river. Yeah, so quite interesting. We're right in the center of Ljubljana now, and right underneath me is a parking garage with a Roman well, and the Romans were here from the 1st to the 6th century. So actually kind of cool. You dig out a parkade and you find Roman ruins. This is the park here. I'll drop the name below. Absolutely beautiful little spot here right in the center of the city. So we're just up walking around some of the government buildings here, the National Gallery. There's some parks, lots of really nice statues, epic buildings, beautiful parks. Highly suggest just kind of coming up for a walk. It's really nice. We're just kind of doing a walk after siesta before dinner, and it's very beautiful up here. And some old kind of grand buildings back from the Yugoslavia times and stuff still around, and it's yeah, definitely take a walk up here. So check out this building across the street. That's the National Opera and Ballet. Absolutely stunning. Look at the detail up top. Beautiful. I'd love to take a tour through there. It looks like they're about to actually have a performance tonight, but maybe if we can get in there in the day and have a look around, that might be something cool. We'll see if we can get that. All right, so we just went out for a quick little dinner here. I seen this last night when we were walking around. It's Taqueria Uno Mas. So we stopped in. Wow, legit tacos, like straight from Mexico. They're literally making the tortilla as you order it. They have all homemade fresh salsas. They have kind of like elote in a cup versus on the cob. Phenomenal, absolutely amazing. If you are in Slovenia and you're craving some tacos, we went with the carne asada and the al pastor. They are fire. I was just in Puerto Vallarta in January, and whew, these are like right on par. You gotta check out Taqueria Uno Mas if you're in Ljubljana. So this morning we have booked the Union Beer experience, which is up in this part of the city. So we're currently having a little walk through Tivoli Park. Absolutely beautiful. We just entered. There's some shrubs and plants and trees all over the place. There's a bunch of buildings scattered throughout, so maybe we'll have a peek and see what some of those are. And yeah, very nice so far. So we're just having a wander through the park here. Interesting little find at the back. It's the International Center of Graphic Arts. We don't have time to go through it today, but they have exhibits and stuff. You can go through and take a spin through. We got to head over to the beer tour, so we're going to just explore the park, but sounds very interesting. Beautiful grounds here too. Absolutely stunning. Well done. So just off to the side of that International Graphic Arts Center, there's a whole trail system here. So if you're in the mood for a hike, looks like they got a beautiful, well-marked trail system up into the back of the park here. Might actually come up and do that. We'd love to go through a park. We're big park people, so I think we might put some tracksuits on and go for a little hike later. So it's quite a vast park up here We're moving into some sporting stuff, basketball, probably tennis. Looks like they got like a little mini football pitch there. But off in the distance, you can see Ljubljana Castle. Absolutely stunning views out here from the park. All right, so we made it over to the Union Beer brewery here. We're gonna do a brewery tour, and then we're gonna go to the Union pub and grab a bite to eat. It's right across from Tivoli Park, but you must book your tickets in advance online. You cannot just show up and buy a ticket. But yeah, we're gonna get out of here in just a few minutes. We're waiting for our tour guide and we'll get to it. So just getting out of the Union Beer experience here. Fantastic tour. I didn't film inside. We were actually the only two people on the tour, so it was basically a private tour. You start with like a 15-minute virtual reality, kind of how the process of beer is made here at Union. Was really well done. And then you go through the museum, basically from the 1800s and how they produced beer, bottled it, cleaned it, pasteurized it, all the way up to the modern day times. I highly recommend that. And then you do a beer tasting. You get 4 beers in their little tasting room, which was fantastic. And of course, just the two of us, so we basically had a personalized tour. So then after the tour, we decided to check out their brew pub here at Union. Fantastic. It's connected to the tour. You basically walk through a door and you're in the restaurant. Wide selection of beers, of course, and a fantastic menu. They even have some vegan stuff on the menu, of course, salads. But go with the, well, they basically call them chicken strips, but it's chicken thighs. None of this processed stuff like back in North America. This is pounded out chicken thighs, breaded and fried. I went with the onion rings. Shelly got some sweet potato fries. Absolutely fantastic. And the beer, of course, phenomenal. So highly recommend checking out the Union Beer experience. Just across from Tivoli Park, about a 10 to 15 minute walk out of the old town. And yeah, what a fantastic day. And the tour, maybe because it was just the two of us, but we went for an hour and 45 minutes. It was fantastic, and we had so much information. The host was amazing also. Super friendly people here in Slovenia. So check her out if you're in Ljubljana. While we're here in Ljubljana, we're staying at this hotel. It's the Antiq Palace. It belongs to the historic hotels of Europe. It's absolutely fascinating inside an old building. And right beside it, I'll just be quiet for a sec, it's a music conservatory, and they play from in the morning until the evening, but it's actually quite nice. It's not super loud, it wouldn't keep you up or anything, but if you're quiet in your room, you can just almost serenaded by pianos and woodwinds and stuff. Very interesting. This is the conservatory, and this is the amazing hotel. I'll give you a brief tour around it, and highly recommend staying here. It is absolutely gorgeous. So if you look up on the ceiling, they actually left some of the original ceiling from the 17th century. Very cool. It's a fantastic hotel. Here's another piece, and we'll go over here. There's another piece. And then of course we have seating area and some artwork on the wall. Huge windows, beautiful. And then you can look out. There's like a little courtyard. There's a nice wisteria here on the wall. They actually, you can go down to the bar, get a coffee or a drink, sit out in the courtyard. Very nice. So this morning we decided to take a stroll through the Botanical Gardens over here at the university in Ljubljana, about a 20 or so minute walk out of the old town. It's completely free to enter, opens at 7:30, stays open till 7 at night. Every single day of the week, it's completely free. I believe there will be a fee to get into the glass house, but we're gonna take a stroll and check her out. So they're taking a view here of natural selection, or basically survival of the fittest. So I guess whoever gets crowded out, unfortunately will die off, but it is pretty nice. So they took the natural way versus the super highly groomed way, which is I think the way things are going in the world generally. But yeah, we'll have a nice spin through. Looks like they got a nice Japanese maple here. What a beautiful tree. One of my favorite trees, actually, Japanese maple. So now we've moved into the more groomed section of the garden, not natural selection. These are definitive cut beds, specific plants arranged in specific orders, which is also very nice. Typically when I do a garden, I do it very groomed, edged, stuff like this. I don't typically go for the wild look, but very nice gardens. And I can see the glass house off in the distance. It should be pretty epic when we get in there. So I wanted to show you kind of a little tip. You might already know this. It's Google Lens. So if you don't know what something is, you can do this not just with flowers, but statues, buildings, literally anything on the planet. So you just open your Google browser and then you hit the lens button and you'll see a basically a camera comes up, and then you open it up and then you highlight what you want to get here, which I'm going to do this flower. You just click the button and Google will search, and we have the plant name. It's Ramsons or wild garlic. I'm not sure if that showed up, but actually pretty cool. So kind of about 50 to 100 meters past the Botanical Garden, on the other side of the glass house, which you're going to see very shortly, there is a bee house, and it's Italy and Slovenia joint venture. I'm going to bring the camera in close. Hopefully you can see them. Yeah, thousands of bees, obviously, all in here. I'm not going to go around the glass because that would just be stupid. I don't want to be stung, but fascinating. I hope that's showing up on camera. Really interesting. All right, so we're up in the glass house. €4 for an adult ticket, which is quite reasonable. It's absolutely beautiful in here. It is super hot, and it's only probably 14 degrees outside. It's got to be about 30 in here with probably 90% humidity. So make sure you have a t-shirt on underneath your sweater. But absolutely beautiful. 2 floors. We're on the upper floor now. We'll head down. It's a ton of school classes here doing like planting and learning about plants. It's really actually quite nice to see. So we just finished up at the gardens over here at the university. Absolutely fantastic. The gardens and the greenhouse were well worth it, of course. A minimal charge, €4 to get into the greenhouse. So now we're gonna head our way back into the old town. We're gonna go to the central market because every Friday they do like a big kind of outdoor food hall, or like a food market. So I think it runs from 11 until 9 at night is what the guy at the hotel said. So he said you can't miss it, and it's every Friday. It sounds like all year long, so that's where we're heading next. So if you do choose to do the gardens, we're heading back into the old town now, into that central market to go grab some lunch. We're gonna take the Ljubljana River the entire way. Look how gorgeous it is over here. I mean, absolutely stunning. So we're just gonna walk this way because we took the road up and it was full of traffic. What a great idea to make this path along the river. It's absolutely beautiful here in Slovenia, especially if you just get out and explore. All right guys, so we're making our way to the central market for lunch. Seen this cute little cafe in this plaza, so we had to stop in and Grabbed a little IPA. I'll drop the name below. It's a great place to come and have a cocktail. Actually, Shelly went with, they do like craft lemonade here, so if you're not drinking, you might want to try that. Beautiful spot though. All right, so we made it down to the Central Market. We're gonna have a look in here, check out some of the stalls, see what we can grab to eat, maybe some craft beer and maybe some delicious food. Check it out, it's absolutely packed. Remember, this only occurs on a Friday, so make sure you mark that on your calendar. Looks like it's gonna be amazing. Looks like I could see some sausage, some craft beer, and some Thai food just from where I'm standing. So this is the best roast pork in town. You get some roasted pig, coleslaw, and baby potatoes. Looks absolutely delicious. All right, so we got a sirloin steak cooked over charcoal with some potatoes, a little bit of mayonnaise on the side, drizzled with chimichurri, and a beautiful glass of Malbec to go with that. All right, so we stopped at a Slovenian place. We got the dumplings filled with potato, I believe, and some goulash. You could also go with a roasted rabbit, but we opted for the goulash. So just on the other side of the building, you'll see it if you're here, there's an entire vegetable market. There's flowers, fruits, some pancake and coffee shops. It's really amazing. The vegetables and the fruits here are super fresh. They look fantastic. But we're gonna head back down to the food and probably grab some dessert before we take off. And just on the side down here, as you're heading back to where the food is, there's some local stuff for sale. There's honey, lavender products, football jerseys, you name it, it's here. So definitely something to check out. All right, so just finished up at the Central Market for the food stalls. Highly recommend going there on a Friday afternoon or even into the evening. They literally have stuff from all over the world. So basically the choice is yours. A lot of vegan stuff too, so if you're not a meat eater, you can definitely go there. If you are a meat eater, check out that pork and that Argentinian steak. Phenomenal. Shelly also grabbed a piece of pie at the pie shop. Wow, that was amazing. A little sweet for myself. And they also have some craft beer there. I picked up like a Tectonic Hazy IPA. Fantastic. Lots of wine shops, lots of bars to get a cocktail, and pretty much everything under the sun. So we had a fantastic time, and I actually picked up some merch from the local football team, Olympia Ljubljana. I got a jacket and a t-shirt for about 100 euros. Fantastic. So yeah, great day at the gardens and the Central Food Market. We're gonna head for a little siesta, and we'll pick this up at another time. Hey guys, if you're looking for a quick and light breakfast recommendation here in Ljubljana, check out Oakberry right behind me. They do acai bowls, super tasty, super healthy, and pretty reasonably priced too. So it's early Sunday morning. We decided to take a trip out to beautiful Lake Bled. We're standing right over at the Ljubljana bus station. If you decide to take the bus up, it's only 2 euros if you go on Sunday. I think it's 4 euros during the week, so still pretty reasonable. So we're gonna head up there. It's about an hour and a half out. We're taking the 8:30 bus up, so it should put us at the lake around 10 o'clock, and then we're gonna do the lake, the castle, the little town, and see what else we can find up there. All right, so we made it out to Lake Bled. You can see Bled Castle up on the hill behind me. We're gonna slowly make our way down into the lake. There's a little church just off to the side here. We're gonna go check that out. And then of course, at the end, we're gonna be way up there. Should be amazing. It is a bit chilly out here compared to back in the city. So keep that in mind. You might wanna bring a heavy hoodie or maybe even a little pair of gloves. And we're sitting at the end of April here. But it should be beautiful this afternoon. So we just took a peek at the church here, and there's a beautiful rock face up towards the castle. So it is Sunday morning. Of course, they are in service, so we can't take a peek in the church, but absolutely gorgeous and some beautiful, beautiful views up here. All right, so we made our way down the lake. You can see over to the island there in the off in the distance. Now, the best way to get a picture is to obviously pay and go on these boats. I don't know what the price is, but I will drop it below. The boats are out in the lake, like they're motorized. Here are some paddle boats. Obviously, you can rent. There's kayaks also around. We're not going to do that today. One of the unfortunate things is while you're walking down this path, there's a lot of private land. There's like homes and like cottages and stuff, private land, so you can't see this island or the church basically the entire way. We've walked about 15 minutes. There's little outcroppings where you can see out and like a bench, but most of the way it's blocked by high trees and shrubbery. So basically they want you to grab a boat and go out, which if you really want to see it up close, highly recommend it. It's absolutely beautiful. The water is like the most beautiful blue, and going over there, it looks like people are even docking and walking around the island, so it's probably worth it. We're gonna head up to the castle though, and go check that out. So this is what I mean by the outcropping. So this is probably one of the best places to get your photo, because most of it is just this thick vegetation all the way down the path. So here's an example here of one of the properties they built on the lake. Absolutely beautiful though. Gorgeous, but it's something, there's an EU flag in the Slovenian flag, so something to do with the government, I'm assuming. But yeah, gorgeous views they would have. All right, so we're starting our walk up this little trail to the castle. It's about 15 minutes up to the top. Should be some gorgeous views. And yeah, we're just gonna take our time, and we'll see if we have any cool sights along the way up. So it's actually quite a nice walk up here. Beautiful, lined with all kinds of trees. Looks like we're about to hit some steps. Some beautiful views now. I think we're probably maybe halfway up, and look at the stunning view back towards the town of Bled. Gorgeous. If you hate stairs, I have really bad news for you. There is a ton of them near the end, so keep that in mind. But there's lots of places just to take a break. So we finally made it to the top. Not a bad walk up, really. They have a few viewpoints. Look at that scenery behind me. We're just gonna go get some tickets. You can buy them on the phone. We opted not to. I'm just gonna go see if I can pay cash, but epic scenery. So we made it up to the castle. 17 euros for an adult ticket. You can pay in cash. You can also book it on your phone. Before doing the castle, we stopped. We had the famous Bled cream cake, a beer. Shelly went with an Aperol Spritz, and now we're gonna get into this castle. So we're up at one of the first defense walls. We'll have a peek out, see what the view was like back in the day. Wow, gorgeous. And I love the style of homes they have here. Probably won't show up too well on the GoPro from this distance, but they're super nice, very nice. Look at those snow-capped mountains, absolutely gorgeous. It's gonna be a cool little tour around here, and they actually have like a little wine tasting right down here. Maybe we'll check that out too. We'll see how long we're here for. But the views from the terrace, drinking that beer and that Aperol Spritz, fantastic. So some pretty nice views up here from the castle. There's the church on the island out there, and then I'm just gonna spin it around over here, show you the sheer cliff that they have. It's built on, like, wow. It looks like there's a little look off down there. Not sure how you get there, but look at it, literally just right down the cliff. Pretty cool. So in addition to the terrace where we stopped for the cake and the Aperol Spritz, they actually have a full service restaurant up here on the upper part of the castle. Very, very nice menu too. So behind me here, if you remember from when I was at Ljubljana Castle, they had the oldest, a piece of the oldest grapevine, which was from Maribor. Well, here's another piece of it up here in Bled. And this is this is a piece of the original from Maribor, which is over 400 years old. It was put here in 2011. So up on the second floor of the castle here, there's a museum, kind of interesting, goes all the way back through time. Originally they found a feudal fort up here in the year 1011, and this is perched up 125 meters on a cliff above Lake Bled. So kind of an interesting little thing in there. It goes way back from kind of like arrows and little bones all the way up kind of to the more modern times. Quite interesting. So it appears we're inside of the castle chapel. I did not see a sign, but by looking at it, I'm going to assume this is the castle chapel. It's very, very well done. Look at the detail. Might not show up on the camera, but it's pretty impressive. So just getting out of the castle, pretty good time. Again, 17 euros a ticket. Lots to see, lots of great views. Definitely come check her out, especially if you're here in Bled. It's something you really can't miss. Anyways, we're gonna go back into town and grab a bit of lunch. Like a bunch of tour buses showed up, so the place is absolutely packed. So we're gonna skip that restaurant on the terrace. The menu looks fantastic though. We're just heading through the town. Cute buildings, check this out. Absolutely amazing, love it here. Yeah, we're gonna go find some lunch, but I thought I'd just show you a little bit of the town. I love the architecture here in the houses, beautiful. So we stopped for a little lunch after the castle. Fantastic. I went with a goulash, came with a spetzel. Shelly went with a soup and some dumplings with lemon and tarragon. Absolutely fantastic. I had a local craft beer, also a reset. So if you're in Bled, definitely check out this restaurant. It's absolutely packed full of tourists, of course. Fantastic. Highly recommend checking it out. Hey guys, so I was just out looking for a place to grab a quick haircut and stumbled across this Banksy exhibit here right in the center of Ljubljana. It's only running for 3 days. I happen to be in town while it's on, so I bought a ticket, €13.50 to get in. Got all kinds of his work. It was done over 2 floors. I really enjoyed it. If you like it or you don't like it, it's actually pretty cool to go see it. I've only ever seen it online. You can take photos, so that's what I did. I'll leave some after this clip. Really, really interesting and thoroughly enjoyed it actually. So if there's one near you, definitely check her out. Alright, so I decided to get out early this morning, go for a little walk. Near the train station in Ljubljana, they have a place called AKC Metelkova. I'll drop the name and the address below. It's on the site of a former military headquarters here in Ljubljana. It's now like a cultural and social art center. There's a hostel, there's a restaurant here, all kinds of different artwork. We're gonna look around, have a peek. I think they run different classes. I think they even do like events, maybe a little bit of music. It seems they have a website. It seems like there's all kinds of stuff going on here all the time. So we're gonna have a little walk around and see what we can find. So it's an eclectic mix of art. There's some graffiti, there's some sculpture, there's some metal work. Kind of interesting. We'll have a little browse around. Here's like, what are these? Demons or I don't know. It's kind of cool though. If you're I'm not like the biggest art fan, but It's kind of interesting. It's completely free and it's open 24 hours a day, by the way. Here's an actual gallery. So this is not open 24 hours a day. It's 11 till 7 at night. It's only about 9:30 in the morning currently, so we won't be going into that. But this is all mosaic, which is kind of cool. Yeah, very interesting. I'll go back a bit farther. Maybe some of this will show up a little better. Yeah, it might be interesting to actually take a peek through this. These mosaics are actually, well, I'm not sure if it's going to pick it up on camera real well, especially in the shade, but this would have taken a lot of time. All right, so took a quick walk through there. Kind of interesting. There's some interesting mosaics and artwork. Of course, some of it's just graffiti. We're probably a bit old to get the whole thing, but interestingly enough, it's right beside the Museum of Contemporary Art, which is the building behind me. But definitely an interesting walk through. Little eclectic, little different, something to do. Yeah, if you want to check it out, it's just back by the train station. I'll drop the address below. So I just took a spin through St. Nicholas Cathedral. Absolutely beautiful. It's done in the Baroque style, built in 1706. It's €2 for an adult to get in there. Absolutely beautiful. You can take pictures without flash. You can also take video. You got to be in complete silence. It's very gorgeous, super nice. I loved it. I love going through old churches. I highly recommend checking this one out in the old town here in Ljubljana. All right, so I just went for some Thai food. So if you're looking for a recommendation for a quick and tasty meal, check out On Thai here. I'll drop the address below. Absolutely fantastic. Shelly went with a pad prick gang with chicken. It's like medium spice. I went full on spice. Pacha, absolutely amazing. One of my favorite Thai dishes. This place knocked it out of the park. You get that numbing lips and a big endorphin dump, so you know it's absolutely phenomenal. So check her out if you're here in Ljubljana. So we got a bit of bad weather today, but that's not going to stop us from getting out and exploring. We're currently over at a Roman wall, which was part of the Roman trail through Ljubljana. They restored this section back in the 1930s and added this pyramid. We're going to go up and have a look at that in a second, but pretty cool. And there's supposed to be a little development, like a Roman development, a little farther down the road. This stuff is all absolutely free to come see. It's just open in a park here. I'll drop the address below if you want to come check it out. It's kind of cool. Going to find some more information on this pyramid as we get closer. So the pyramid is known as Pleknik's pyramid, and when they were doing the restoration in 1938, they added it, but it does not say why, but it's so this pyramid is only from 1938. I'll get some shots from in and around it here. And another tip, if you're coming up to check out the wall in the pyramid, there's an Olympia burek, probably 200-300 meters away, which is one of the best bureks I've had yet. So definitely stop in there. And interesting little thing, if you head over to the center with the main square, there's a little supermarket there. You actually have to walk through a Roman wall to enter the supermarket. It's absolutely fascinating coming from North America, where history is like 200 years old. So at the end of the street here, they have a bit of an information panel. It says the wall's 2,000 years old, used to be 6 to 8 meters high, and it was a massive fortification, not what you see today. I'll show you the picture that they put there. Super interesting. So today is our last full day here in Ljubljana. We had a fantastic trip, a little bit of bad weather, but nothing that would keep us stuck in the hotel. Went and did a little bit of laundry today, and then we went into the center and went to a cool little coffee shop, Donut Tell. Little play on words there. Really interesting drinks. I went with this blue mermaid latte. It had like blue matcha, lavender milk, and a little shot of espresso. We also got these cool little donuts and a blueberry mochi. Fantastic little spot. Highly recommend checking that place out. And then we just went over to a little bar, had a couple beer, and ran into some people from Belgium. Talked to them for a couple hours. Anyways, fantastic trip here in Slovenia. We're off to Poland tomorrow, so thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you in the next one.